For the Hungry project, just going to do a really quick synopsis of what we did in class so you have some reference. Now please remember, this is all about variables. All we're doing is capturing variables and then updating information based on those variables, right? You remember quickly how to do the username stuff. This is nice when you have an input type element because the variable is made accessible to you. All you have to do is click on this little universal X and off you go. I don't believe you have to do that, but that's that. And then of course you have the $ signs, and just by simply putting the name of the variable in there, it will then display, right? So quickly we will just show you, next 5 slides. I simply called this username via the variables tab. I'll put my name in there. And then because I put it between $2 signs, there is my variable, okay? Now what's required in this sense is you're going to go to pasta, of which you're going to then choose some sort of pasta. You're then going to choose some sort of sauce, which is your side, and then of course you're going to have some sort of drink. I went ahead and I created these already for you, main choice, side choice, and then you know there's going to be a drink choice. What I'm looking for on this is your understanding of how to organize this and also your details. It's going to be very specific. You saw all of that, and I think I have one already. It is very important that when you go to create these variables, right, so main choice is equal to this, that you organize these very well, that it's the same spelling, the same case. Nothing's capitalized, it doesn't have to be along all those lines. So I've already done this one for you, just to kind of give you another record of how to do it. I have 3 sauces on here, because Captivate doesn't allow pictures to be buttons unless you import them that way, which you're more than welcome to. I'm going to use ClickBox, so I'm just going to go up here and choose a ClickBox. Once I have my ClickBox, I am of course going to name it, so this is going to be called Pesto Clicked. Pesto, whoop. And then I'm just going to copy and paste. You're more than welcome to do this however you'd like. I'm just simply going to show you for a reference. This is Nara clicked. Copy and paste. And this is Alfredo clicked. Right? So you know in these scenarios, the only thing that we have to do here is ensure that these buttons show, and then also this variable is updated with each click. We know that when we have one item that we want to do multiple actions, that is an advanced action, right? So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose Execute Advanced Action. And luckily, I can go up here to my standard choices. And this is for those of you that are using Captivate 9. You would have to do this. Otherwise, those in Captivate 10 and or 2017, it's that conditional tab and or the standard one is default. So I'm going to pick Angel Clicked. I'm going to duplicate this. You already have this one. And I'm going to call it Pesto Clicked. And then I'm just going to change this here because I don't want to assign main choice. I want to assign side. So I'm just going to say side here. And what do I want to say? I'm going to say literal because I'm the one determining what it is. And I'm just going to say pesto, S-A-U-C-E. I know that that is title case, so I'm good. Now I want to show, I don't want to show sauce butt. I want to show, let's see if I did drink butt or not. I did, drink butt. And then I'm going to say update action. Okay, close. The only thing I'm going to do now is verify that I do this correctly and come over here and say pesto clicked. I also want to make sure that I did this correctly. Here is my group, which for some reason is not, here we go. And it's called Drink Choices. Okay, so I did drink but that's not the case. So now I'm going to go back here and change that to drink choices and update action. Okay, so now I know I have the other three, so I'm just going to duplicate this. Call this Mari clicked. Mari clicked. Change this to literal and say Marinara. Right? Drink choices, that remains the same. Update action, okay. Duplicate, and then alf clicked. And literal Alfredo. Drink choices, update action. Update action. Okay, and then close. Now we go back and assign, right? So this is going to be execute advanced action. Marinara clicked. Execute advanced action. And there's alf click. Where's alf click? There we go. Okay. So now we're on this particular screen. We're now updating the side choice variable. We did that simply by just assigning it with each click. And then, of course, we created the navigation option by making this visible. Okay. So now you know that we'd go to drink. That's on you. You know exactly how to do it based on that reference. But what we need to do now is go to the side choices, right? So I have, this is already established for you. You already have the main states. But now we need the side states, right? So I'm going to cruise up here. I'm going to move this out of the way quick, and I'm just going to grab this pesto. Bring this back down. And paste it on here. Once I have it pasted on here all nice, that looks good. I'll keep it that size so I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to make sure that I set this to side underscore states. Right? And the idea is that this is a book, right? So I'm just using this as a placeholder, i.e. the book, and then the states in between are going to be the chapter. I've used that analogy before, and it's the best way to do it. I do not want to call this pesto, right? Because there's going to be many options in this. Now that I have that established, I can go up here into State View. I like to make sure that things are labeled correctly, so I'm going to change this to Pest. So now I have that. I'm going to duplicate that, call it Marin. I'm going to duplicate that and call it Fredo. These aren't going to matter much what they're called because Captivate's just going to call to them and I'll know which one he's talking about. So now I want to change this from pesto to marinara sauce. I just simply go to that state, ensure that there's that blue around it, come up here to the image, and look for it. Marinara PNG, okay, there we go. Move it over just a bit, and then do the same for the Alfredo. Alphabetically, so, oh, yep, and there we go. So there we go. So now I have my states. And that is a really good way to do it. You have to understand that when we put these pictures up here on this slide, right, the one thing that we don't talk about much is the moment that it imports it into Captivate, it puts it in the library here, right? See all these images? So it's really easy for us to just go ahead and manipulate images and states that way. So now that I have that all settled up, we all know that we're just going to be using the one action. So if you're deciding, like I have, if you're deciding to use just the one results page here, all of your decisions are going to be going in this choices script. So now that I know my main choice in this particular instance is all said and done, I have angel, I have egg. So all I'm going to do is this little plus sign for those of you Captivate 9. And again, in 2017, I believe the plus sign is either above it or something. The moment you hit that plus sign, you see Untitled comes up. I can just click on this, and then I'm going to say, goodness, pesto. And I'm going to come down here. If the variable side choices, right, is equal to, I'm going to say literal, pesto sauce, pesto, S-A-U-C-E. I'm going to change the state of side, and now I just get to pick pesto. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this one. This is the longer of the two, so I'm going to copy that. I'm going to add, and next is marinara, so mari, paste, literal, and what did I say, marinara. I don't remember if I did sauce or not, I'll double check in a moment. Change state of, side to marin. Add, paste, literal, Alfredo sauce. Change state of, side, Fredo. Make sure that we have this, Fredo. Update action. Okay. And now this is important. So I just made some assumptions there. I kind of lost it. So make sure that you're doing everything correctly, right? So come back here and you can either go through it this way, right? So pesto sauce, I did do that, 2 words. Now I can just come up here. I've clicked, and then with Alfredo, so I need to change that. And then marinara is just marinara. So I close. Now I can come back. Oh, I didn't have to do that actually. But another way, you can just go up to Project Advanced Actions and then find your conditional actions. Then from the drop-down menu, I'm doing choices. So I know that I have to change Alfredo is just Alfredo. So that's it. Just make sure your variables are matched up. You're doing sentence case, title case, whatever it may be, underscore. Your states are set up accordingly. And then you just keep adding pluses up here. And then you hit update action. Close. Now I'm good to go. Now the moment that I click on any one of these, so I'll show you, preview. Let's see if this actually works from here. So I click on this, pesto, I click on this, marinara, I click on this, Alfredo. Pesto sauce, marinara, Alfredo. We choose drink, this doesn't work, and there's Alfredo. So there you go. Now obviously the rest of these aren't updated because I didn't go through from the beginning. But that should be a good reference. And again, make sure all of this works. It must work flawlessly to get the points. Enjoy.